I built a trading bot that allows me to trade on Robinhood without even touching my Robinhood account. Everything can be done within my VS Code IDE, and all I have to do is press a single button. Today I'm going to be showing you how I wrote this code and how you can apply the exact same thing. This code is maybe a little more complex than most beginners can use, but I'm going to show you in a way that anybody, even without any prior knowledge in Python, can actually use this. So let's get right into it. Before you do anything else, go down to the description, click on the GitHub link, and download these files. I'm going to be showing you everything you need, but if you do not have those files, you're going to be sitting here typing everything out and just wasting your time. So grab those files so we can be hands-on and work right through this together. Now that you have the link to the repo and you have it opened up on your side screen or however you're doing it, be sure to click on the README because this will tell you step by step everything you need, starting with Visual Studio Code. Today I'm going to be using Visual Studio Code as my IDE. I find it very helpful, very easy to use, and very beginner friendly. All you have to do is right click on this link, open link in new tab, and then click on that tab. Now you can download Windows or Mac, whatever version you're working on, and you're all ready. While that download is finishing up, let's go back to the repo and make sure we download the two files that we're going to need for today. The first file that you're going to want to grab is the keys.py file. So go ahead and navigate to that, download the raw file, and then after that, navigate to the Robinhood-API.python file and also press download raw file. Now that those are downloading, everything should be ready and we will go to our VS Code editor to see what's next. The first thing you're going to do once you're in VS Code is go to File and press Open Folder. You might have an option here already to open the folder, but if not, just go to there. Next up, go to your download folder where those two files you downloaded are located and go ahead and drag those into VS Code or into that other folder that you already opened. Now that these are in here, we are going to see if you actually have Python installed. To check for Python, go to Terminal, press New Terminal, and then type in Python. If this gives you an option to type out Python code similar to what I have, then you are all set and you're ready to go. If not, it will hopefully take you to the page where you need to be downloading Python. On Windows, it will take you to the Microsoft Store and you will be able to press install right here and then get right back to writing our code. Now that you have that installed, we can go ahead and try typing out Python --version to make sure you have the correct version of Python. We have Python 3.13.1, so we are all set. Now that we know Python is working, our next step is going to be generating our public and private keys. To generate this, we will run python space key, and then we will tab to autofill the rest and press enter to see that we have generated a private and our public keys. We are going to copy these keys and create a new file called .env. On the left side over here in your Explorer, right click, press new file, and name this file .env. Now that your file has been created, we are going to name these keys in a Python way where we have a variable, set it equal to a string. To start with our renaming, we're going to rename the private key and we're going to call it base64 underscore private underscore key in all caps. This can be found from your Robinhood-API file. It's listed out right here, and that is because this is our reference and it's referenced throughout. So we will go back and we will name our private key this. We'll press equals, we will create quotes, and inside of our quotes, we will put this new private key. We can now do the same thing for our public key. I'm just going to replace private with public, and then we will set this equal to our new public key down below and put it inside of quotes to make it a string. Our final thing we will reference is going to be called an API key. We will also pull that from our Robinhood-API file. If you don't want to type it out, you can also just type out API key. It's not very difficult there. And finally, we will want to save. So I will press Control S to save, but if you don't want to do that, you can also navigate to File and then press Save yourself there. Now that this is saved and we have our keys generated, we can go ahead and copy our public key again, and we are going to be taking this key to the Robinhood Crypto API section. So let's go ahead and navigate back to our GitHub repo so we can see what exactly we need. In our Git repo, if we go back to our README file, we can see that there's already a link here for Robinhood Crypto. We can open this link in a new tab, and whenever we navigate to this link, we will see that we can add a key here. We can name it whatever you would like and then choose an expiration date. I prefer to choose an expiration about 1 year out, but 1 day less to make sure that it's not quite 1 year. And I'm going to allow all API actions. Now that all the API actions have been selected, I'm going to copy in my public key, and I do not have to do anything for the IPs unless you have a specific IP you're trying to use. Now, once I press save, I will be sent a notification on my mobile device, and I can say, yes, it's me, and there we go. I am recognized, and I have generated a key. Now, to copy this API key, I will click on it down here below the test one, and then I will press copy key. Now I can navigate back to my VS Code editor and I can copy and paste it into my API_key section. I will now save my file and I'm all set to navigate back to the Robinhood API Python file. Most of this Python file actually comes from the Robinhood API docs. So if you have any questions, you can also reference that. It was on that last page. So if you go back, you can press on API docs and you can see that there's a lot of information here. It's sometimes a little bit confusing. And I tried to do this at first and was having lots of issues until I actually found out that my time was going faster than it took for the API to reference. So I had to subtract 2 seconds off of every run so that my requests would go through. If you don't understand anything about code, it doesn't matter either because you don't need to. All you have to do is scroll all the way down to the bottom here and look at lines 136 through 139 and you'll do the exact same thing you would do on Robinhood. If I want to buy a stock, all I have to do is type buy. If I want to market buy, I can do market. If I want to limit buy, I can do a limit. If I want a stop loss, a stop limit, a stop market, whatever I want to do, I can type that out here. I'm going to be doing a market buy just to keep things simple and easy, and I'm going to use Dogecoin because it has a cheap amount, so it'll be easy to follow, and I can specify my quantity over here, but I'm just going to keep it with 1 for now. Now that all that is set up, all I want to do is press save, and if I go down to the bottom, I can start typing in Python, and then I can reference this Robinhood API file, and I can press tab to auto-populate the rest, press enter, and there we go, we are now buying. We can see that my buying power went down to 95.98. I know it didn't show anything else, but I'm actually going to go over to my Robinhood account as soon as I press this so that we can see what happens live. Now that we're in my Robinhood account, we see that my quantity is 19.03. I'm going to navigate back. I'm going to run this same code again. I can just press the up arrow to run the same command. I'm going to press enter and I'm going to go back. So we have 19.03. I'm going to raise my hands and we're going to see that this quantity is going to change as soon as this is processed on the other end. It is now $20, and you can see that all I did was I pressed enter, and now this bought 1 share. We're going to go back and we're going to do this again, but I'm going to show you how it works for selling 1 share as well. So now we press sell, and I run the same command, and then whenever we go back, it'll go from 20 back down to 19.03, and I won't do anything different. I'll just sit here with my hands up in the air, and we'll see that this goes down from $20 down to 19.03. There it is. So now that we see that that is working, we can go ahead and continue making changes to this script to do whatever you're wanting to do. And that brings me to my next point. Next week, I'm actually going to be posting a video of how to add in indicators such as RSI to set up automatic trading schedules adding on to this code. So if you're interested in seeing that, if you want to find out more about how to use indicators to set up AI bots to actually do all this work for you, be sure to like and subscribe and ring the notification bell so that you'll be reminded next week when that video comes out. If you did find this video any bit helpful, I would love a like, a comment down below what you found the most helpful, what you want to see in future videos. Any comment is extremely helpful as I'm trying to figure out what you find valuable and what you want to see in the future. If there's anything that you want to see, again, please comment it down below. But that is all that I have for this week, so I will see you in the next one.